weed eating my tortoise enclosure and decided to show it off. Let me turn the camera around. How do we do it? Right there. So here we have Ricky. See, she's is eating random grass and clovers, and got some aloe there. I'll show the rest of it, but seeing how she's out. So I have two girls and one male. Ricky and Andy are the girls. I bought uh, Andy young, so she became Andy before I had a son named Anderson with the nickname Andy. So we've had Andy for a while, but as she got older, we realized she was a girl as she started to grow into herself. So anyway, she's still named Andy. But this is Ricky. I have Jeff, and his name is Jeff after Jeff from Survivor. I'm not going to throw the person I bought him from under the bus. Well, my wife bought him, so I wasn't part of the transaction. But essentially, he got his name because he was at uh, FedEx over the weekend without us knowing. And then finally, it came out that, hey, I shipped him, and he's been ready for pickup. Like, wow. So Jeff survived, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to call him Jeff because he survived. And then got Ricky here, and she got named Ricky. I do not know why, but my wife was saying after, I think, Ricky Lake from the talk show. So, not sure why, to be honest, but yeah, so anyway, she got named Ricky. Now, let me back up and show the entire area. So, I have, you can see their trail where they trail through the perimeter. Oops, sorry. Let me go this way. They trail through the perimeter, so they have a little divot here. But there's their 4x8 barn. Not going to, I'll see if I can show inside without lifting it up because it's a pain in the butt. I had to take the hydraulics off because they were actually messing it up. And they ended up, one popped, and I just got rid of both of them. So now the only way to open the top is through manpower or human power, elbow power, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, it's a really heavy lid, but its internal dimensions is 4x8, so the external is a little bit more. It holds up pretty well. I've repainted some of the areas, and as you can see, I don't really care as much about the paint, so you can see there, that's a little bit of that brown and white mixed in on the white part, because I had to paint over it. But here Ricky goes around banana tree. This banana tree, if I back up so you can get the whole picture, it is about 2.5 years old, and this is grand something or another, so it's a normal height, so it'll grow much higher, but I put it there. And then this one over here is a dwarf. There's a tiny one over there, a dwarf, and one over there by the bird feeder that's a dwarf, and then I had a dwarf there. They all died. Well, excuse me, the one over here died. The others, they just don't grow very tall. This is a good shade tree for them. So right where I'm standing, I actually got a clutch of eggs from one of them. I don't know who buried them, but they're in the incubator and they may produce. I don't think that they're fertile, but we'll see. It ain't hurt nothing. They're incubating at the temperature that I set. Oh, what does that spider have? Oh, spider on spider violence. Can y'all see in there? A jumping spider got one of those little green spiders. Yeah, it doesn't show, but yeah. Yeah, what was I saying before I got distracted by that spider? I thought that was cool. But yeah, I put this here. This banana tree provides some good shade for them, shelter, when they don't want to be inside their shelter. As you can see, after I repaired this, I painted, this was rotting because it was grinding on each other. And now that I've put it back where it's level, I had to add extra parts there to cover up the gap so it doesn't leak inside. So not completely happy with it, but it's definitely not the worst thing I could have bought for him for outdoors. Yeah. Ricky's like, I wish you would just leave me alone. Oh, come here. She's mad because she was in the divot over there that I was weed eating, so I had to take her, pick her up, and move her. And she was not happy about that. I don't know if she was sleeping or, just trying to not be bothered. Yeah. And then here in the grass, we got random vegetables and things that I just throw down. So they're growing. And this, like I said, is a dwarf. Then if we come around here to this side, I got some natural Brussels brooms. So I got two of these. Oh, sorry, let me rotate this way. There we go. I got two of these. One of them I cut in half, and I built this little archway. So I tried to do the small one. When I saw how not good it was, I ended up going with the bigger one. But this way they can grind under there, and then this one allows them to get the sides. So Jeff uses that quite frequently, actually. The girls, not as much. They're starting to get a little rain, but I'll keep the tour going. I throw random seeds and stuff down for them, so you can see here is some different mixed greens growing out. I didn't worry about it. I had to weed eat the grass, so everything I weed eat. A moringa tree here, moringa, however you want to pronounce it. And here is Andy. She likes this little mud pit. This is, if I don't see her in her hut, this is the first place I come to look for her. So she hides right in that corner. As you can see, they're very small still for this large of a space. So I got room more if I like just them having space. I have my bird feeder here, and unfortunately the birds drop a lot of seeds. So this gets all kinds of random things growing, but just weed eat it now. Got some stepping stones to mostly come from the patio out here, and I can just step on them without getting in the grass to access the bird feeder as needed. And then if I continue the tour, over here we have rocks behind just pea gravel because you need some space to open this lid. So yeah, space over there. And then this is I forget the name of it, but basically it's a big enough bath that they can get in there, soak without drowning, and drink water. I clean that about once a week. Oh, Andy's like, yeah, why do you keep coming over here? Here's their old water dish. I don't really use it anymore, but I leave it here because it collects rainwater and stuff. But once again, need to turn that. And if we go, I added these. These are like the refrigerated flaps that you put in a refrigerator, because during the winter and during summer, hot, cold, vice versa, whatever, keeps some of the airflow from coming out or in. And then you can see back there, I have a heat panel, and that's attached to a thermostat. You're not going to be able to see, but if you look to see where that cord is running, it looks like it's running right under the light. It's not. That cord's actually closer to us. The light is probably like a foot away. But that cord goes to the back over here. Let me see if I can point. So up in there, there's a thermostat that's connected to that. And then that's a UVB and UVA mercury bulb from Arcadia. That thing's awesome. It was expensive, but it is paid way for itself. It's been like, it hasn't busted or gone out like a lot of the other ones. On the top, I put a radiant barrier, and then as you can see, I have a couple cameras. One right there, and then one up here, so I can see in there. I use fence pickets to attach the radiant heat panel. Yeah, so that goes back in there. That little box I actually created off of the pieces that are left over on the pallet from the AP cages when they come in. I saved those pieces, and I end up making a hut in there. So that hut has two compartments in it, split basically down the middle. On the other side, it has a hole for them to go in and out. And I have it on the other side so wind can't blow right in there in case it's winter time. And then you can see back in here, I put some hay, so they have different stuff to go on. This door here, which doubles as a ramp, actually opens and closes. For when it is winter time, I can close them up in there. Alright, let's see. Where'd Ricky go off to? She definitely did not go in because peace be upon you. Let's see. There she is. So if we go back over here, you can see Ricky's hanging out. And then Jeff must be in the enclosure because I haven't seen him. So, but yeah, on their thing, I put weather strip down in between here, so there's no gap. But they do have an exhaust there, which I use fan, like PC fan, exhaust fan. One right in the center blowing from that side over here, and then one right here. And then that allows it to blow and get heat, excess heat out. And then as you can see, this shade cloth's seen better days because it gets beat up when I open and close the lid, but it still does its primary job, so I'm not replacing it yet. But I just have that attached to the wall and then to some U-post in the ground to provide shade because that's south, and yeah, just don't want them to overheat during the summer. And then got my little compost bin, a little blackberry bush I just recently put in there. And yeah, our back patio, it's a little messy, but whatever. And yeah, that's their tortoise pen. Over here, I put in a 6-foot fence in case, well, not in case, I was wanting at some point to put a stream coming from about this area and going out that way to about where the second stepping stone was. And that way they have fresh running water, but haven't done it. But part of that was taking down this section of the fence I put up and putting in a 6-foot gate to allow for an excavator to get in here, like a small excavator, not a huge one, but a small one to get in here easier for doing that, because that's going to require a lot of digging out. But yeah, that's their enclosure. I don't remember the size of it. It's 5, 10, 15, 24. And let's see, that was 6, 12, and that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 28, about 36 by 24 or something like that. So pretty good space for them based on how small they are. But alright, no questions that came in here. I'm going to go ahead and get off, but just once again come back to show how small Andy is down there. So this is a redfoot tortoise enclosure with just 3 red feet in it, or redfoots in it. And yeah, I've been talking about them a lot, and I figured why as well show it. You can see I left some of the grass patch here high just because I like them to have something to wade through a little bit, but that's the normal length of it, and I just trimmed it down. Cool. All right, thanks for watching. See y'all next time.